Okay? So kaya kakailanganin pa rin natin ng mga direct formula dito. No? Pag ang tanong is may kinalaman sa position, velocity, saka acceleration, ito lang yung gagamitin natin. So tatandaan nyo lang yan. Diba? So ang tatandaan nyo lang, diba, is ito yung tinatawag natin as the instantaneous value. No? Tapos ito naman yung, tinatawag din natin as the instantaneous value. Diba? So pag derivative. Okay? Pag ang hinahanap is average, diba? Ang gagawin nyo lang dito ay delta x over time. Diba? So pag naman halimbawa average acceleration lang yung kailangan nyo, so then that's delta v over time. Okay? No need for derivative. Okay? Nakaba. So ano yung delta x? Okay? So ano lang yan? Final value minus initial value. Diba? So final value minus initial value. Okay? Nakaba. So yun yung difference. Okay? So let's try some examples. Diba? So para makita natin paano siya nag-work. So ito yung isang example, diba? So kung saan given tayo ng position, diba? So in this case the displacement. Okay? Nakuha ba? Pag displacement, this is a vector. Okay? So pero dito since nagmo-move lang naman siya in a straight line, so hindi naman ganoon bang ma-matter, diba? So kung displacement or distance siya pinag-uusapan. Ang kailangan nyo lang i-look out dito, 'di ba, is yung pag nag-change siya ng direction. Okay? Nakuha ba? So kasi if you are moving in a straight line, so you can imagine for example, ito let's say yung path natin, 'di ba? So then imagine, 'di ba? So if let's say nag-move ka in this direction, okay? Nakuha ba? Nag-move ka in this direction. Let's say this is 5 meters. Nag-move ka ng 5 meter in that direction. Tapos bigla kang bumalik, 'di ba? So let's say nag-move ka ng 1 meter. So then, okay, so ang idea natin dyan is this one, mula dito hanggang dito, sa final position natin. So ito yung tinatawag nating displacement. Okay, nakuha ba? So pero yung na-cover mo, so mula dito, diba? Mula dito, okay, so then hanggang dito, so yung total distance natin na-covered, then yung tinatawag natin na distance. Okay? Kaya i-compare natin dito, so yung distance is equal to 6 meters, whereas the displacement is just equal to 4 meters. No? Okay? Yun yung difference ng distance sa displacement. No? Sa displacement, kailangan mo lang is yung initial position saka yung final position. So whereas sa distance, kailangan mo talaga is yung buong na-cover mo. So regardless of direction. No? Okay? So kaya dito, since we are talking about displacement and velocity, diba? So therefore, dito tayo magpo-focus sa final saka sa initial. Okay? Nakuha ba? So kaya ibig sabihin, pag meron kang time, so na bumalik, diba? So or nag-change ng direction, so yung position natin, so then kailangan din natin i-consider yun. Okay? Nakuha ba? So pero pag distance saka displacement lang yung pinag-uusapan. Diba? So dito naman kasi ano lang siya, displacement and velocity. So and, diba, since walang sinabing average dun sa velocity, so we can assume na instantaneous velocity yung hinahanap sa problem na to. Okay? Okay? So kaya wala tayong masyadong problem dito. So kailangan nyo lang mag-ingat dito sa words na to. No? Okay? Okay ba? So kasi dyan kayo possible na magkamali, especially kung average lang yung tinutukoy sa problem. No? So dyan marami nagkakamali sa ganitong concept. Okay? Pag instantaneous kasi wala tayong problema. So kasi we are considering a very small interval. For example, this interval. So kaya wala kang chance na mag-change ng direction. Diba? Okay? So let's try to solve this one. So again, this is a simple one. So we are given the position S. Diba? So this is 18t, so plus 19t squared. So I think this is a past board exam. 2019 ata lang ako ito. So then, so we solve for the velocity. Velocity is simply the rate of change of position with respect to time. So ds dt lang to. So therefore, this will be given by 18 plus 2 times 19 is 38. So we have 38t. Okay? So at t is equal to 3 seconds. Diba? So then your instantaneous velocity is 18 plus 38, so times 3 seconds. No? So then this will be 18 plus 90 plus 24 is 114. So plus 18. We have 132, so meters per second. Okay, so then this is our letter. Okay, okay ba? So simple lang, diba? Okay, so any questions para dito? Okay, so meters per second yung unit natin kasi meters yung displacement, diba? So tapos yung time t natin is in seconds. Diba? Okay? So kaya yung dsdt natin, so this is meters per second. So kaya meters per second din. Okay? So any questions para sa problem na to? Okay? So next number, 16. So a 2-meter tall man so walks away from a 6-meter high lamppost so at a rate of 1 meter per second. So how fast is the tip of the shadow moving? Diba? So in meters per second. Okay? Okay ba? So again dito, so para ma-consider niyo yung mga speed, diba? So or yung mga rate pagdating sa mga ganitong uri ng problem, diba? So again, so consider niyo lang yung distance traveled, diba? So, or yung length traveled, diba? So, in this case, okay? Or yung change, diba? So, kaya dito kailangan natin ng dalawang point of comparison, diba? So, para dun sa problem natin. Okay? Okay? So, tapos basically, parang ina-average lang natin. So, yung distance. Okay? Okay? So, kaya parang dito sa problem na to, first, let's consider their initial position. Okay? So, we have a lamp post. So, let's say ito yung ground. Okay, so then we have a lamppost, no? Okay, so let's say ito yung lamppost natin. So sabi dyan yung lamppost daw natin ay 6 meters high. So let's say ito yung 6 meters dito. Okay, so this is 6 meters. Okay, so then we have a man, diba? So assume natin na yung man nag-start din dito sa position ng lamppost, diba? So this is the man. Okay. Okay, so yan yung man, diba? So again, so doon din siya mag-start, let's say, sa position ng lamppost natin. So therefore, so dito natin i-consider yung parang pinaka-reference natin. So let's consider this, for example, as x is equal to 0. No? So again, so yun yung position nila, diba? So before sila mag-start gumalaw. So sabi dyan, so yung man natin is 2 meters tall. No? So kaya from here, so then to here. So then itong length na to, so again, this is 2 meters. Okay? So that's 2 meters tall. No? Okay? Nakuha ba? So yan. So tapos, 'di ba? So nag-start daw silang gumalaw. So sabi diyan, the 2-meter tall man walks away, 'di ba? So from the 6-meter high lamp post. So let's say from this position, so nag-move siya sa position na 'to. 'Di ba? So let's say nandito na 'yung so tao natin, no? Okay? So let's say yan, 'di ba? So again, so nandito na siya sa position na 'to, 'di ba? Okay? So then ibig sabihin ito yung distance traveled by the man, 'di ba? So which is tawagin natin for example as x. Okay? Nakuha ba? So now at this position, nasaan yung shadow, 'di ba? So dun sa initial position, so directly below ng lamp yung tao, kaya nandito yung shadow. 'Di ba? So kaya basically for the shadow, 'di ba? So nag-start din siya ng position, 'di ba? So dun sa same position ng man. So let's consider, let's say yung length ng shadow in this case as L. So nag-start din siya at L is equal to 0, 'di ba? So ibig sabihin yan yung tip ng shadow natin, 'di ba? So nandiyan lang din sa ilalim, 'di ba? So now, so pag nandito na yung position ng man natin, so then, so if we consider again from the lamppost, so we just need to directly connect, no? So again, so dun sa pinaka-top ng tao natin. So then ibig sabihin ito yung magiging shadow niya, 'di ba? Mula dito sa paa niya, 'di ba? So hanggang dito sa dulo na 'to, 'di ba? So kasi ganoon naman yung workings ng shadow natin, 'di ba? Okay, so that will be the shadow. So therefore, where's the tip of the shadow? Ito yung tip ng shadow natin, 'di ba? So ibig sabihin, ito yung total distance traveled by the shadow or by the tip of the shadow. So tawagin natin 'to as L. Okay? Nakuha ba? So then, 'di ba? So yung tanong sa atin is kung gaano kabilis yung movement, 'di ba, or yung motion so nung tip ng shadow natin, 'di ba? So now, so let's assume, 'di ba? So na yung rate ng paggalaw ng tao natin. So again, so itong rate na 'to, so ng pag-move ng tao, so is dx dt. Okay? So ito yung dx dt natin. That's the rate of change ng pag-move ng tao natin. Since walang sinabi sa problem, sinabi lang na rate of 1 meter per second, let's assume this to be constant. Okay? Nakuha ba? Or kung hindi man siya constant at the specific time, diba, na sinosolve natin sa problem, yan yung rate ng tao natin. So that's the rate of change or yung rate ng paggalaw niya, diba? From this position to this position here. Okay, nakuha ba? So let's assume that to be constant. Okay, nakuha ba? So which is equal to 1 meter per second. And alam natin that's increasing, kaya this is positive. Okay? So then ang kailangan natin gawin, diba? So para ma-relate natin yung dalawa, okay? So again, so ang kailangan natin gawin para ma-relate natin yung dalawa, yung dx dt, saka yung dl dt. So yan kasi yung kailangan natin i-solve. So we need to get the relation between x and l. And for that, so gagamit tayo ng similar triangles. Diba? So first, let's consider this smaller triangle here. No? So we can consider itong triangle na to. Sa triangle na to, diba? So makikita natin na yung height nito, so the height of the triangle, diba, is just the same as the height of the person. So kaya alam natin that that's 2 meters. Okay? Nakuha ba? So then, so as for the base, so again, if we assume that this is equal to L, so and this is equal to X, diba? So then, so this must be L minus X. Diba? So therefore, so yung sides niya is 2 meters, saka L minus X. Diba? So then, so next, we will consider naman yung larger triangle natin, so which contains the lamppost as one of the sides. Diba? So then, so hanggang doon sa tip ng shadow. Okay, so hanggang dito. Diba? So then, so this is our hypotenuse here. Okay? Nakaba? So since pareho sila ng angle dito, nag-share sila ng angle dyan, so ibig sabihin, diba, similar yung dalawang right triangles natin. Since pareho silang right triangle. Diba? Okay? So then, so for this right triangle, for the larger right triangle, makikita natin yung sides niya ay 6 meters. Diba? Saka itong L na to. Diba? So therefore, so by concept of similar triangles, the ratio between corresponding sides are equal. So for the height of the smaller triangle, that's 2 meters. For the height of the larger triangle, that is 6 meters. So then, so the base of the smaller triangle, that's L minus X. So then the base of the larger triangle is L. Diba? So then this will cancel. 2 divided by 6 is 1/3. So kaya this will be 1/3. So we have L is equal to 3L minus 3X. Okay? Nakuha ba? So then, so rearranging this, diba? So you will get 3x, okay, or 3x, diba? So will be equal to 2L, diba? So or L will be equal to 3/2 of x, diba? So again, so ito yung equation, diba? So that can relate yung L saka x na kailangan natin sa problem. Yung x kasi yung given, diba? So yung 1 meter per second is may kinalaman kay x, diba? Tapos yung hinahanap naman sa problem, yung how fast the tip of the shadow is moving, may kinalaman kay L. So kaya kailangan natin silang i-relate. Diba? So then yung second step natin is we get the derivative with respect to time. Diba? So nung buong equation to. So kaya nung L, saka nung 3/2, diba? So of x. Okay? So then you will get that dl dt. So ito yung hinahanap sa problem is simply equal to 3/2 is constant. So we can factor that out multiplied by dx dt. Diba? So but we know this is dx dt, 1 meter per second. So we substitute. So this is 1 meter per second. So then you will get this is 1.5 meters per second. Excuse. Okay. So again, that's 1.5. So then that's meters per second. So this is our final answer. Diba? So we have letter A. Okay. So simple lang, diba? So yung solution natin. Okay? So now, paano naman pag ang tinatanong sa atin is yung length ng shadow? So how fast is the shadow lengthening? Diba? So minsan kasi yung tinatanong, diba? So instead of using this as L, so ang gagamitin nyo dyan as L is itong length ng shadow. Diba? Kasi nag-start siya as yung length niya ay 0. So tapos, after mapunta dito ng tao, diba? So then yung length na ng shadow niya will be this one. Okay? Nakuha ba? So yun yung gagamitin nyo as L. Diba? Kaya instead na L minus X to, so that will be L. Tapos instead na L to, this will be L plus X. So shadow, ano siya, yun yung magbibigay sa atin ng rate at which the shadow is lengthening. No? So kaya guys, so nakadepende yan sa figure nyo. Okay, nakuha ba? So ang pinaka-problema lang kadalasan sa related rate is minsan, so hindi natin ma-visualize kaagad kung ano yung tinutukoy sa problem. So pagdating sa board exam, pag wala kayong idea, di ba? So hindi nyo maisip kung ano yung tinutukoy sa problem, laktawan nyo muna. No? Kasi baka after a while or after some time, so then ma-visualize nyo kung ano yung sinasabi sa problem. So yun kasi yung pinaka problem natin kadalasan, no? Okay? Nakabasa dito kasi tip of the shadow yung pinag-uusapan. Kaya mula dito hanggang dito. Diba? So pero pag length lang ng shadow yung pinag-uusapan, so then at this position, nandito yung isang tip, nandito yung base ng shadow, nandito yung tip ng shadow. So ito na i-consider mo. Diba? Okay? So yun yung difference. Diba? So between the tip of the shadow moving saka the shadow lengthening. Diba? So minsan kasi shadow lengthening yung tanong. Okay? So any questions para dito? Okay. Okay, so let me proceed to the next part. Okay? So ito related rate din, diba? Ito isa to sa mga pinaka-common na lumalabas sa board, diba? So yung meron kang wall, then we have a horizontal plane, tapos merong isang something na nagre-rest, diba? So dun sa wall natin, okay? So in this case, we have a ladder, diba? So tapos nag-slide yung ladder. Diba? So actually, isa rin to sa mga common na tanong pagdating sa mechanics. So although sa board exam natin, so hindi siya masyadong lumalabas. No? Kasi mayroong rotational motion. Sa board exam kasi kadalasan, translational motion lang yung lumalabas. No? So kaya wala yung mga kahirap na problem. Okay? So again, so dito we have a horizontal plane. So yung horizontal plane, we have a vertical wall. Tapos meron kang 32-meter ladder. No? So let's use... Sige, ito na lang. Okay, so let's say ito yung ladder natin. Okay, so we have this ladder. So again, so this is a 32-meter ladder. So yung length nito, okay, so this length. So this is 32 meters. No? So and syempre yung assumption natin dito is the ladder will not break. That's one. So and pangalawa, diba? So as yung ladder natin is hindi na stretch, no? So hindi siya nagbe-bend, etc. So kumbaga straight lang siya. Okay? Nakabasa again, so that's the basic idea. So therefore, so kung pinupush natin to, sabi dyan, assume the foot of the ladder to be pushed towards the wall, diba? So ibig sabihin, so itong foot ng ladder, so pinupush daw siya so towards the wall. So tinutulak natin siya in this case, diba? So therefore, so this is the initial position, diba? So nung foot ng ladder natin. Okay? Okay ba? So yun yung initial position ng foot ng ladder natin. So let's consider this or tawagin natin to as X. Okay? Nakuha ba? So therefore, pag pinush natin siya, for example, papunta dito sa position na to, so if we push that, diba? So in this direction, so magkakaroon tayo ng change in X. So basically, so ito yung parang change in X natin, diba? So therefore, there's a rate, diba? So of change ng X natin, so with respect to time. So let's say yung rate ng pagbabago ng X natin, so will be given by dx dt. So then this will be our dx dt. Okay? So then yung dx dt na yan, so will be yung rate ng pagtulak natin towards the wall. So meaning that's this one. Diba? So then you will get that dx dt is simply equal to, so we have 2 meters per minute. Diba? Pero, kailangan natin i-consider yung change. Diba? So ano ba yung change natin? Is it increasing or decreasing? So makikita natin dito na yung delta x natin is papunta dun sa position ng x such that yung x natin is smaller dun sa original value niya. Diba? So therefore, yung x natin is decreasing in this case. Diba? So which means, okay, so this should be negative. Huh? So kasi decreasing siya. Okay? Pag increasing, positive. Diba? So pag decreasing, negative. Okay? Nakuha ba? And you can imagine, so na pag tinutulak natin siya in this direction, diba? So then, since hindi nagbe-bend yung ladder natin, hindi siya nag-shorten, hindi siya nagle-lengthen, hindi siya nasisira, diba? So therefore, okay, so dapat pagdating sa position na to, so then we can assume na ganito yung magiging itsura ng ladder natin and hindi magbabago yung length niya. 32 meters pa rin yan, diba? So kaya para mangyari yan, alam natin na yung top ng ladder natin will move upward, diba? So base dun sa figure natin, diba? So ito naman yung magkakaroon ng change, diba? So let's say this is the original value, so y. Okay? So tapos makikita natin dito, meron kang change, diba? So this will be our delta y. So therefore, there's a rate of change, diba? So ng y with respect to time. And this time, this is increasing. No, so kaya yung dy dt natin so is positive. That's 1. So pero for now, so ito yung kailangan natin i-solve. How fast is the top of the ladder rising? Okay? Nakuha ba? So that's the idea. So pero makikita natin, so na regardless kung ano yung position ng ladder natin, we still form a right triangle. So kasi hindi nagbabago yung vertical wall sa horizontal plane. And the hypotenuse, the length of the ladder is always 32 meters. Okay? Nakuha ba? So kaya we can just focus on that triangle. So such that, diba? So ang variable lang natin dito is yung x and y natin. Kasi nagbabago yung value nila. So depende doon sa motion ng ladder natin. Okay? Nakuha ba? So kaya ibig sabihin, diba? So we need to relate x and y. So base dun sa fact, diba? So na laging right triangle yung na-form natin. Yung legs are always x and y. So again, so yun yung nagbabago sa equation natin. But the hypotenuse is always 32 meters. So by Pythagorean theorem, so we know that x squared plus y squared so is equal to 32 meter squared. No? So again, hindi ko na nilagay yung unit dito kasi para consistent. So let's assume na naka-meters din yung x and y natin. No? Tapos yung time, so since ang given sa atin dito ay per minute, so yung time natin will be in minutes. No? So para consistent tayo. No? Okay, so meron na tayong equation. So next step natin is to get the derivative with respect to time. Okay, so this is x squared plus y squared. So then this is equal to, so derivative with respect to time, so ng 32 squared. Okay, so then, so this will be 2x. So remember, with respect to theta, so pero x yung variable natin. So therefore, we need to multiply this by dx dt. Same dun sa y, diba? So we need to multiply this by dy dt. And as you can see here, diba? So derivative ng constant ay 0. So this will be 0. Okay? So by multiplying this whole term by 1/2, so then we can cancel this. So then ano yung kailangan nating i-solve? Okay, so yung dy dt. So then solving for dy dt. So this will simply be equal to negative x over y. So then multiply this by dx dt. Okay? Nakuha ba? So meron na tayong formula. Diba? So para dun sa dy dt natin. Okay? So ngayon ang problema na lang, isang alam lang natin. So is ito. So how fast the top of the ladder rising when its foot? So is 10 meters from the wall. Diba? So therefore, we need to solve this. So at the instant, so that x is equal to 10 meters. Kasi dinefine natin, diba? So na yung length na, yung distance natin from the foot of the ladder, papunta dun sa base ng wall natin, so is x. So kayong given na 10 meters yun is x. So therefore, kailangan pa natin si y. Saan natin ito masasolve? Dito. Diba? So kasi from here, so y can be written as square root of 32 squared minus x squared. So palitan lang natin yung y dito. Okay? So diretso ko na dito. So therefore, okay, so then dy dt so will be equal to, so again, negative x over. So again, so dito magigitong square root so of 32 squared minus x squared. So this is multiplied by dx dt. No. So then, okay, so substitute natin yung mga alam nating value. Ano yung x natin? So x is 10 meters. No? So x is 10 meters. So it's 10. Okay. So then this is divided by square root of, okay, so 32 squared. So again, x is 10. So then yung dx dt natin is negative 2 meters per minute. Diba? So again, so remember that yung y, inassume natin na naka-meters. Yung time, inassume natin na naka-minutes. So this will be in meters per minute. Diba? And also note that negative times negative is positive. Kaya tama yung assumption natin, tama yung nakuha natin kanina na dapat negative, dapat positive yung dy dt natin. Diba? So if we try to solve this, we have positive 0.658 meters per minute. No? So again, so yung tatandaan natin. So first, set up the equation. So after nyo ma-set up yung equation, diba? So then get the derivative with respect to time. No? So tapos solve nyo lang. Diba? So kung ano yung kailangan i-solve sa problem. Okay? Okay. So again, so ang pinakamahirap na part dito actually is yung pagsa-set up ng equation sa yung pagsa-simplify. Diba? So yung pinakamahirap na part is actually yung pinaka-basic. Diba? So algebraic manipulation. Okay? Okay ba? So yan. So kasi para magamit nyo yun, so dapat talaga well-versed kayo dun sa mga lower mathematics. No? Okay? So kaya sa review namin, usually sa mathematics, ang start ng mga subject is algebra, trigonometry, plane and solid geometry, then analytic geometry. No? Yun kasi yung mga foundation natin. So kaya para mas madali kayo makapag-solve sa calculus. So kasi dito kung hindi nyo alam yung right triangle, diba? Yung Pythagorean theorem, so then hindi nyo masaset up yung equation. Okay? Which is the first step. So ganun din sa maxima minima, 'di ba? So and hindi naman laging right triangle yung lumalabas, 'di ba? So pwedeng isang normal lang na triangle, 'di ba? Tapos gagamitin niyo ng sine law and cosine law. So kung hindi niyo alam yung sine law, hindi niyo alam yung cosine law, so wala din, 'di ba? Kahit na sobrang galing niyo mag-derivative or sobrang galing niyo mag-integrate, 'di ba? Pag hindi niyo alam yung pagsisimulan, so yung equation na gagamitin natin, wala din. Okay? Okay ba? So yan. So kaya sa differential calculus, madalas yung magagamit ito yung lower math. No? So pagdating sa integral calculus kasi more on concept na talaga ng calculus yung ginagamit natin. So basically we are using shapes, figures, diba? Okay? So na infinitesimal, diba? So or infinitesimally small, no? Okay? So yun yung nangyayari sa integral calculus. So the differential equation naman is application na ng integral calculus, no? So kaya in terms ng difficulty ng mga calculus subjects natin, ang pinakamadali dyan is differential calculus kasi pumapasok pa dyan yung lower math. No? So pagdating sa integral calculus at differential equation, so medyo mas mataas yung level nila sa differential calculus, di ba? So kasi gumagamit sila ng concept ng calculus. No? Okay? Okay ba? So basically, kailangan naiintindihan nyo talaga, di ba? So kung anong ibig sabihin ng integration, anong ibig sabihin ng differentiation. So pagdating sa differential equations and integral calculus, no? Okay? So let's move to the next topic, no? So next topic natin is approximation of error, no? So again, isa na naman tong application ng differential calculus. So actually may isa pa tong kadugtong, dapat yung estimation. Diba? So for example, you are getting the square root of a number. Diba? We can actually estimate the square root of a number so using differential calculus. Okay? Nakuha ba? So pero again, so kayo na yung bahala kung gusto nyo pag-aralan yun. No? So meron din tayong mga numerical method. Diba? So using differential calculus. Okay? Nakuha ba? So yan. So basically, ang idea is magsisimula tayo sa isang number. So tapos palapit tayo ng palapit dun sa actual solution. Okay? So pero again, so ang usual na lumalabas kasi sa board exam, approximation of error. So kaya ito yung nasa lecture natin. Okay, so at least sa REE, no? Okay, so let's discuss, diba? So yung approximation of error. Okay, so sa approximation of error, gagamit lang tayo ng differential, no? So ito lang yung tatandaan natin, diba? So if let's say we are given function y, diba? So which is given by f of x, okay? So let's say yung given natin. So if we want to get yung tinatawag natin as the actual error, diba? Or the real error, so then kailangan lang natin i-calculate is yung delta y, diba? So which is basically equal to, so we have f2 of x minus f1 of x, diba? So again, so ito yung tinatawag natin as the actual error. Okay, nakuha ba? So pero syempre, in most cases, especially kung complicated yung equation natin, so hindi natin to kayang i-solve manually. Okay, nakuha ba? Or hindi natin siya masosolve ng basta-basta, di ba? So kaya kadalasan, di ba, sa pagdating sa mga complicated na equation, we estimate the error, di ba? Or ina-approximate lang natin siya, di ba? So to approximate them, di ba? So we just make yung delta y natin very small, di ba? So yung delta y, i-approach natin siya kay dy, di ba? So again, as delta y approaches 0, so then it becomes dy, diba? So yung differential natin. So remember, diba? So yung limit ng delta y over delta x, as delta x approaches 0, diba? So is dy dx. No? So kaya yung delta y natin, pag in-approach natin yung kay 0, para magigilang siyang dy, diba? So then pag nangyari yan, so saan ba equal yung dy natin? So by using concept of differential calculus, this is f prime of x, multiplied by dx. Diba? So ito yung tinatawag natin as the approximate error. Okay? So kadalasan ito yung pinapasolve sa problem. Okay? Nakuha ba? So any questions dito? Okay? So if we want to get yung tinatawag naman natin as the tawag dito. So this is the relative error na tinatawag, no? So if we try to divide them, so dy divided by y, so then this will be f prime of x divided by f of x dx. Okay? So ito naman yung tinatawag natin as the relative error. Okay? So kadalasan sa mga problem natin sa board, ito yung hinahanap. may approximate error. Pero pag napansin niyo yung choices natin naka-percent, diba? So kung naka-percent, diba? Or walang unit, diba? So even though may mga given na unit sa problem, so then possible na relative error yung pinapasolve dyan. So pero, ang una nyo isosolve lagi is approximate error. Pag wala sa choices yan, possible na relative error yung kailangan nyo isolve sa problem. Diba? Yung percent error na tinatawag is the same as the relative error. Naka-percent form lang siya. Para makuha mo yung percent form, so yung decimal, i-multiply mo lang ng 100. Diba? Okay? So any questions dito? Okay. So let's try some example. So find the approximate change in volumes of a cube. So if you increase the side from 2 to 2.05 units, diba? So makikita niyo naman pag actual error or estimated or approximate error yung kailangan nating i-solve. So unang-una may nakalagay dito approximate change, diba? So kaya alam natin approximate error yan. Pangalawa, makikita natin that the change, diba? So in the value or in the independent variable natin, so yung measurement ng side natin, so this is just a change of 0.05. Okay, nakuha ba? So kaya alam natin, this is a very small change compared dun sa 2. No, so ilang percent ba to? So this is mga 2.5%, diba? Okay? So kaya sobrang liit lang nito, diba? So compared dun sa actual value natin. So pag mga ganyan lang yung change natin, so approximation yung gagamitin natin dyan. Okay? Nakuha ba? Pero pag malaki yung change, for example, ang sabi 2 to 3, no? So most likely ang itatanong dito is yung actual error, no? So yung real error, diba? So ibig sabihin, gagamitin natin yung mga direct formulas. Okay? So pero dito approximate lang yung kailangan natin. So ano yung sinosolve? Volume ng cube, diba? So alam natin yung direct formula niya, so from geometry. So again, so importante rin yung mga direct formula. So volume is equal to the measurement of the side raised to the third power. Diba? Okay, so therefore, since we want the approximate change in volume, so we just get dV. Diba? So then this will be equal to 3s squared ds. Diba? So then this will be equal to, so ano yung gagamitin nating s? S is the original value. Kasi remember yung equation, diba? Yung s natin dito is the original value of the side. So ibig sabihin itong 2 units. Diba? Before mangyari yung change, yun yung gagamitin nating value. So kaya 2 units yung gagamitin natin dito. So then yung ds natin dito, diba? So it's the change in the value of side. So again, change to. This is a change, no? So kaya ibig sabihin, so this is final minus initial. Ito yung final, ito yung initial. So therefore, that's 2.05 minus 2. Okay? So this is our differential volume or the approximate change in the volume. Okay? So pag sinolve natin yan, so you will get 0.6. No? So therefore, the answer is letter C. Okay? So any questions para dito? Okay. So let's try another example. So number 19. Okay, so dito naman, the specific gravity of an object, diba? So more dense than water is given by this equation. So ito naman yung i-approximate natin dito. Okay. So where A is the weight in air, okay, so W is the weight in water. So actually ito ano to? Direct formula to, diba? Sa pagkuha ng specific gravity ng object. So by using yung buoyancy, diba? So na concept. Okay? So yung weight in air is the actual weight of the object. So yung weight in water naman is yung tinatawag natin na apparent weight. Diba? So kumbaga, so yan yung lumalabas na weight natin so pag nasa tubig tayo. No? Okay? So if for a certain object, the measurements are A is equal to 12 pounds, and W is equal to 5 pounds, diba? The maximum error for air is plus or minus 1/2. And sa water naman daw is plus or minus 1 ounce. No? What is the approximate, diba? So what is approximately the maximum error in the computed value for S? Diba? So remember, ang hinahanap natin dito, maximum error. So pag sinabi maximum error, so we need to get all the possibilities, diba? So para makita natin, so aling combination yung magbibigay sa atin ng pinakamataas na error sa pag-compute ng value ng S. Okay? Okay ba? So again, maximum error. Diba? Okay? So kaya kailangan lang natin i-consider yung solution, diba? Such that, okay, so siya talaga yung pinakamalaking possible error dun sa problem. Okay? Okay ba? So ang common mistake yun ng estudyante is, ang ina-assume nila, pag positive yung error ng air, positive din yung error ng water. So again, not necessarily. Walang sinabi sa problem. Diba? Ang sinabi lang is, pwedeng magbago yung weight sa air, so ng plus or minus 1/2 ounce. And yung sa water naman is plus or minus 1. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, kahit positive yung error sa air, pwedeng magkaroon ng negative yung error sa water. Diba? So let's try to solve for the error for the computed value of S. Diba? So, ganito yung given sa atin. So, A over A minus W. No? Okay? So, we want to solve for DS in this case. Diba? So, then this will be, so again, low, D high. So, ang derivative nung nasa taas is simply dA, no? Minus high, D low. So, this is dA minus dW. So, then this is divided by, okay? So, we have A minus W. So, law squared, diba? Okay? So, let's check kung meron magka-cancel dun sa equation. So, we have ADA, tapos meron ka negative ADA dito. So, then that will cancel. Diba? So, the negative WDA, so then dito naman is positive ADW. Diba? So, therefore, yung nasa numerator natin will be ADW minus WDA. Diba? So, this is divided by, okay, so we have A minus W. So, this quantity squared. So, okay, so ito yung formula natin for DS. No? Okay? So, now, let's consider again yung DW natin. So, again, ito yung mga possible na combinations natin for DWDA. No? So, pwedeng positive 1/2 yung, or positive 1. So, yung DW natin. Okay? So, kasi plus or minus 1 yung, yung error natin. Diba? Yung error natin for water. So, therefore, so it's a chance, diba? So, na positive 1. So, yung sa water. So then plus or minus 1/2 naman yung sa air. So then pwedeng positive 1/2 yung kay air. Diba? So then pwede rin positive 1 yung kay water. So negative 1/2 yung kay air. Pwedeng negative 1 kay water, positive 1/2 kay air. Pwedeng negative 1 yung water. So then negative 1/2 yung air. So again, so these are all the possibilities. Diba? So para dun sa errors natin. But as you can see, yung DW saka yung DA, makikita natin sa equation as part of this one. And yung A sa W naman natin, lagi yung positive. Diba? So therefore, yung sign, diba, ng mga terms natin dito will highly depend on these values of DW and DA. Kasi sila lang yung pwede maging negative. No? So, and since this is subtraction, diba? So anong alam natin sa rule ng subtraction sa integer? Positive minus negative. So S plus, diba? Magiging sum. Okay? Negative minus positive. So will be sum din. Mag-a-add sila, so pero negative yung magiging result. Diba? For example, 1 minus negative 1. Diba? So this will become positive 2. Nag-add up sila. Diba? Negative 1 minus 1. So this is equal to negative 2. Diba? So okay, nag-add up din sila, so pero negative to. Diba? So if we try 1 minus 1, so positive minus positive, magsusubtract sila. Diba? So and pag ginawa naman natin na negative 1, so minus negative 1, this is also 0. Magsusubtract sila. So makikita natin dito ano yung pinakamalaki. Itong positive 2. Diba? So which will happen pag yung minuend natin is positive. So and yung subtrahend natin is negative. Diba? So which means ito yung gagamitin natin combination. Okay? Nakuha ba? So DW kasi muna bago DA. So tama. No? So again, ano yung A natin? So A is 12 pounds. So this is 12 pounds. Multiplied by DW. So ang DW na gagamitin natin is positive 1. So again, this is in ounce, no? So the minus, okay, so we have W. So yung W natin dito ay 5 pounds. So we have 5. So then yung DA naman na gagamitin natin is negative 1/2. So this is negative 1/2 ounce. Okay? So then this is divided by, so we have A is 12 pounds. W is 5 pounds. So this quantity is squared. Diba? So now looking at the units, makikita natin na okay, so this is pound squared, no? So this is pound squared. So kaya pwede natin i-cancel yung isang pounds. Okay, nakuha ba? So therefore, so kailangan natin itong i-convert, diba? So again, so para maging consistent tayo sa unit. Okay? So now, okay, so ano yung conversion natin? So we have 16 ounce per pound, diba? So kaya we have 1 pound divided by 16 ounce. So then ounce will cancel, pounds will cancel. So therefore, this will be dimensionless. So tama lang kasi specific gravity is not does not have a dimension, diba? So wala siyang unit. Kasi yung specific gravity is ratio between densities, diba? Okay? So this will be 12 plus 5 over 2 divided by 7 squared divided by 16, no? So you will get, so that this is, oops, kung mali yung choices dito. So check ko dun sa, okay, so check ko dun sa handouts natin. Alam ko mali yung choices mo. Okay? So ito yung choices natin. So we have plus or minus 0.0175. So plus or minus 0.0185. So then plus or minus. Okay, so we have 0.0195. So then plus or minus 0.205. 0.205. So again, so ito yung tamang choices natin dito. Okay? So then, diba? Okay? So nakukuha pa lang natin is the maximum positive error. So base kasi sa choices natin, kailangan din natin i-consider yung maximum negative error. So in terms of the maximum negative error, makikita natin ito yung merong maximum negative error. So that is negative yung minuend and positive yung subtrahend. So therefore, ito naman yung i-consider natin para dyan. Okay? And you can imagine na ang magbabago lang dito is magiging negative lang to, tapos magiging positive lang to. Diba? So therefore, pag nangyari yan, diba? So then magiging negative lang yung value natin. Okay? So therefore, so if we consider that, no? Okay? So again, or, so DS, so will be equal to, so again, so this will be 12 pounds multiplied by, so this is negative 1 ounce. Diba? So then this is minus 5 pounds. So multiplied by positive 1/2 ounce. So this is divided by, okay, so we have 12 minus 5 squared. So again, this will be in pounds squared. No? Okay? So again, so we also multiply this by 1 pound for every 16 ounce. Diba? So kaya makikita natin ang pinagbago lang talaga nito is yung unit. No? So ito magka-cancel na ito lahat. Okay, so you will get DS will be negative 0.0185. Okay? Naka-bar? So kaya yung sagot natin dito is letter B. So we have plus or minus 0.0185. No? Okay, so any questions? So para sa problem na to. Okay? Okay. So kaya yun yung tatandaan nyo pagdating sa maximum error. Pag maximum error yung tinatanong, diba? So hanapin nyo yung best combination, diba? So ng mga errors, diba? So para magbigay sa atin ng pinakamataas na final error do sa value na hinahanapan sa problem. Okay? So any questions for this part? Okay. Okay, so next. So this should be radius of curvature. Okay, so para sa radius of curvature, diba? So again, so ito lang yung tatandaan nating equation. So for rectangular curves, no? So ito lang yung i-discuss natin kasi ito lang naman yung madalas na lumabas sa board exam. So again, kung gusto nyo malaman nyo sa polar curve sa parametric curve, so then try nyo na lang hanapin sa internet. Diba? So available naman sa internet yan. Okay, nakabar? So ayan. Okay, so again, so doon lang tayo sa pinaka-basic, diba? So which is the rectangular curve. So direct formula natin for the radius of curvature of a rectangular curve, so is given by, so this is, okay, so 1 plus, so 1 plus, no? So this is y prime, so quantity squared. So this quantity raised to 3 halves, no? So divided by, so this is absolute value of y prime prime. Okay? So again, meron diyang absolute value kasi, so again, dapat yung radius of curvature is positive. Okay? Okay ba? Pag ang tinatanong sa atin is the curvature, so which is denoted by K, i-reciprocal lang natin yung radius of curvature. Okay? So ito yung tinatawag natin curvature. So may measure din kasi siya. Diba? Okay? So this is curvature. Okay? So yan. So pero yung curvature kasi natin pwedeng maging negative, pwedeng maging positive, no? So kaya pag kukunin niyo yung value ng K dun sa R, wag niyo i-absolute value yung y prime prime. So basically this is y prime prime, so then that's divided by, So we have 1 plus y prime squared. So this quantity raised to 3 halves. No? So yun yung tinatawag nating curvature. So curvature is the measure of ratio, diba? So ng pagbabago ng direction. Okay, so with respect dun sa length, diba? Dun sa arc length natin. Okay? So basically kung sa circle, diba? So let's say we consider a circle, okay? So then, diba? So basically, so ito yung tinitignan natin. From this point, so which is in this direction, diba? Papunta sa point na to, which is in this direction, diba? So makikita natin that we have a change in direction equivalent to this theta, diba? Tapos if the arc length is S, so then curvature is the ratio between this angle and the arc length. Okay, okay ba? So kaya dyan yung pwedeng ma-derive yung equation ng curvature saka equation ng radius of curvature. No? Okay? So any questions para dito? Okay. So yan. So then, so let's try this problem. No? So this should be y squared. Diba? Okay? So find the radius of curvatures of the given curve. So at the point 44. So again, from our equation ng radius of curvature, kailangan natin ng y prime saka y prime prime. Diba? Okay? So kailangan natin ng dalawang yan. So kaya start tayo sa y. So we are given y squared is equal to 4x. No? So we need to solve for y prime first. Diba? So para makuha yon, kunin natin yung derivative with respect to x. Diba? So ng both sides. So we have y squared. So this is the derivative with respect to x ng 4x. Diba? So then this will be 2y, y prime. So then this is equal to, derivative nito will be 4. Right? Okay? So then multiply natin ng 1/2. Diba? So then you will get that y prime. So this is equal to 2. No? So then solving for y prime. So y prime is equal to 2 over y. Diba? So at the given point, so at point P, 4. So ito yung x, ito yung y. So just substitute. So y
Join
prime
us
will
at
be...
any Huawei.
Okay? So again, diba? So y prime so will be equal to 2 divided by, so yung y natin is 4. So kaya y prime so will be equal to 1/2. No? So meron na tayong first derivative. No? So next natin kailangan i-solve is the second derivative. So for the second derivative, pwede natin siyang i-solve using this one. So kasi if we get the derivative with respect to x, diba? So ng y prime, so this is equal to the derivative with respect to x ng constant. Diba? So then, so by product rule, so this will be y. Derivative ng y prime is y prime prime. No? So plus y prime. Okay, so then derivative ng y is y prime. So kaya y prime times y prime. So then this is equal to derivative naman ito ay 0. Okay? So then solving for y prime prime, so this is simply y prime quantity squared divided by y. Diba? Okay, so then yung at the given point sa atin, so at the point P, 4, diba? Na-solve na natin kanina, so y prime is equal to 1/2. Diba? Tapos ito yung x, ito yung y. So then solving for y prime prime, that is from this equation. So you will get y prime is 1/2. So that quantity squared, so divided by y, so which is equal to 4. So kaya ito ay, sorry, this should be negative. So kasi positive dito. So this is negative, no? So then this will be negative 1 over 16. Okay? So we have the value of y prime prime. Okay? Okay ba? So then, so meron na tayong y prime. So meron na tayong y prime prime. Diba? So therefore, so next step na natin dito, diba? So is to solve for the radius of curvature. Diba? So pero, okay, so pakita ko muna sa inyo isa pang way natin para mag-solve ng y prime prime, that is by using this equation. Pag ginamit natin yung equation na to, diretso lang yan. So y prime prime is the derivative nitong 2 over y, diba? So with respect to x. Kaya magiging lang siyang negative, diba? 2, diba? We can factor out the constant first. Constant natin ay 2. So then derivative ng 1 over y is negative 1 over y squared. Okay? So then since this is y, diba? So tapos this is with respect to x. So kailangan natin itong i-multiply sa y prime. Diba? So by chain rule. Okay? So kaya this will be negative 2 times y prime. So ang y prime natin is 1/2. divided by y squared. Ang y natin ay 4. So this is 4 squared. Okay? So cancel yung 2 dito. So this is equal to negative 1 over 16 pa rin. Diba? So pareho lang ilalabas na y prime prime. Okay? So kaya dalawang possible way to solve for y prime prime. So actually meron pa yung ibang ways. So pero kayo na yung bahala kung gusto niyo siyang i-solve. No? Or kung gusto niyo gamitin yung kung meron kayong gustong gamitin na ibang method. No? So basta importante makuha niyo yung y prime saka yung y prime prime. Okay? So therefore, so radius of curvature, direct formula. So again, this is 1. Okay, so plus y prime. Quantity squared, so raised to 3 halves. Divided by, so the absolute value of y prime prime. Okay? So then this will be given by 1 plus, ano yung y prime natin? 1 half. So this quantity squared, so this is raised to 3 halves. Divided by, so we have absolute value ng negative 1 over 16. Okay? So let's try to solve this. Okay? So may calculator kayo dyan, so try nyo rin. Diba? So para masanay kayo sa calculations. No? So divided by 1 over 16. Okay, so you will get 22.4. Okay, so we have letter D. Okay? So any questions? Diba? So para dito sa differential calculus. I think ito yung last part natin ng difficult. No? Okay. So any questions? Diba? Sa akin, so yan yung differential calculus natin. Sa akin, so mga basics lang yung sinama ko dun sa lecture natin. No? Okay? So merong ilang medyo mahaba yung solution, diba? So pero again, mga basic concepts lang yung ginamit natin. Okay? So are there any questions? Okay.
Recording stopped.
Okay, so then, so buksan ko lang yung next topic natin, so which is integral calculus.